Hey, welcome back to my channel. I say welcome back because it's been a while since I last posted anything, and that's mainly because of what I'm going to talk about in this video. Now, before we go any further though, I just wanted to say, I'll tell you now, this video is going to be crap. Not because of the content itself. I think the content is really important, and I hope when you hear this video you'll agree with me. But the reason it's going to be crap is because it's for the first time I'm doing it without a script. I made a few notes, but I've not scripted out, and I'm not reading from an auto cue or anything like that. This is purely me just talking at the camera on something that I've been thinking a lot about lately, that I think can really benefit you, me, if you're in the same boat as me, or you're trying to do the same sort of thing as me. So what I'm talking today about is basically about creating videos, but without all the fancy stuff around them. See, I've noticed lately that I love YouTube. I think the fact that you're on YouTube and you're watching this on YouTube, that basically YouTube is fantastic. It's informative, it's educational, it's entertaining. But in my opinion, it's the best medium by far for promoting business. You know, people will talk about TikTok, Instagram, and sort of everything like that. And the trouble with those platforms, and don't get me wrong, they're great in their own right, but I feel they're much more for entertainment. People scroll. If something stops them, they're scrolling, but generally they're just little hits of entertainment. Whereas if you were to, when you're watching a YouTube video, you obviously you could be watching it for entertainment value, and there's an awful lot of entertainment videos out there. But if you're watching a video like this one, it's presumably because you want some information. And this has got me really thinking lately. You know, I watch tons of YouTube videos late at night, especially when I can't find anything to watch on Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever. And YouTube is my go-to place. And occasionally, yes, I do watch entertainment videos, but I flick through those. But even if I'm looking for information on a specific subject, all the big boys, or the big success stories, and the people who've got hundreds of thousands and sometimes millions of views, I never watch their videos. I might click onto them and obviously look at, you're attracted by the thumbnail or whatever, I might click on them, but I just scroll through and just scroll forward, and all with the fancy editing and everything. It sort of drives me nuts. But there are some videos that I do sit and watch. I put them on, and from start to finish, I sit down and watch the whole lot. And I've realised lately, the ones I do that to are invariably the guys who've got less than 1,000 views on their videos, or sometimes even 100, 200, 300 or whatever, 300 views, and they've got not that many subscribers. But they're very, very authentic. They're speaking to a small audience, an important audience, rather than the vanity of trying to get views and followers just to have to talk about the numbers. And this is what I've been thinking about, obviously, for building an audience, a valuable audience for what I want to promote and what I want to talk about. It's really important to connect with my audience, or if you're doing this, your audience. And I just think the chasing views and followers is just vanity, and what's the point? There's no point in doing it. Of course, unless you want to build a massive YouTube channel where you just get paid passively from the ad revenue. But the people who do that, I mean, they're few and far between compared to the majority of people who start. And that's just, in my opinion, that's not the way to think about creating a YouTube channel. I've never ever wanted masses of views and to get the ad revenue, the ad revenue from my videos. I'm not monetized yet, but that's never been my goal. My goal has always been to build an audience who wants to listen to what I've got to say, and I've got a lot to say. If you don't know my story, I've spent the last 15 years or so writing sales copy for some of the top direct mail marketers here in the UK. My sales letters are predominantly in the make money niche, actually, and my sales letters have brought in well over $20 million. So I know what works. I've seen it all. I know what works, what doesn't, what's real, what's a scam. I just know it all. But I'm always writing this stuff for other people, and I just decided I want to build my own audience, and I'm going to create a few products which I'm hoping people will like, and something specific so I know which it can really benefit people when they're starting out, which obviously I'll tell you that a bit further down the line. But yeah, sorry, I'm filming something. Where were we? Sorry, that was my wife just come in, so I forgot what I was saying now. But basically, I'm trying to connect with the audience. So, and as I say, when I've noticed the big YouTubers with massive followings, yeah, of course, they earn thousands and thousands from their ad revenue, but they're not like most of us. Most of us who live in the real world and starting out with just our small channels, we just want to build an audience. So, but it's a personal audience, and it's a responsive audience, if you like. And so I feel the way to do this is I'm changing my tack on the channel. I'm going to try it. My intention, if you like, is to start creating videos without a script. Yes, I will make a few notes, and obviously I do need a few notes to remember what I'm actually talking about halfway through. But ultimately, I feel by doing this, I'll, all being well, be able to produce more content, show up more regularly. And the important part is really and truly, it's the actual, when you think about it, it is the message that's important. When I write sales copy for my clients, I say to them, look, the website, don't make it all singing and dancing, or where the web design is so fantastic that it takes away from the words. It's the words that are important. That's what you want to. Yeah, of course, you got to make the site, a website, or your sales message look appealing, but not to the point where it detracts from the words. The words are what do the selling, if you like. So it's the sales message is the important part. And it's the same, in my opinion, with a video. All the fancy editing is distracting from the message. The message is what comes across. And I found that, as I said, I sit down and watch a few YouTubers, and the ones I sit down and watch from start to finish, the ones who I'm engaged with, because they're talking at me, if you like, through the camera lens, just so I'm effectively talking to you directly, one person. You're my audience, not a general broad audience. You're my audience on the other side of the screen. And these guys do the same thing. They just talk to the camera. Yeah, there might be some edits, and of course, cock-ups in the video. Yeah, there will be cuts. But I'm not going to be doing these jump cuts and zoom in and out and all fancy stuff like that. I've decided I'm just going to do much more authentic audience. And if you don't like that, and you like all the zooming in and out, the jumping and all the fancy stuff, of course this video is not going to be for you. But if you get what I'm talking about, you'll see, you'll understand this totally, and you'll see what I mean. Now, obviously, there's the main advantages of creating videos like this are saving time. As I said, I'd spend, must be at least 2 days writing a script, I'd say. Whereas now, I don't have to do that. I'll just make a few notes, and I'll do it wing it, if you like. I'd spend probably at least 2 days editing a video, and very often more than that. But again, yeah, I might have to make a few cuts in between in the video, but that doesn't take long. And I might have to trim off the start or trim off the end or whatever. But it shouldn't take long. And then hopefully I'll be able to put out more content that is important. Because as I said, in my 15 years of writing for the Make Money Mission, trust me, I know an awful lot that you need to know if you want to be successful in that kind of niche. The creator space is absolutely phenomenal, and you're told to do all these different things, and all lots of different experts, if you like, tell you to do this and this and this. And I'm not sure it's right. I think you need to build an audience that's responsive for your message. And in later videos, I'll talk about why your message is important. You might think it's all been done before and all that. Yeah, so is every film and television program and whatever. It's all been done before, but that doesn't stop filmmakers making films on murder or crime or fantasy or whatever. The market might be saturated, but ultimately there's always space for more. But you want to be responsible. It's for your audience, not everybody else's audience. So an authentic video, or that's the genre that I'm going to be trying to go for from now. And obviously, naturally speaking, I'm hoping that by being more authentic, you'll see that it'll come across as more what I am, what I'm trying to get across. You know, with a generally helpful mentality to try and get my message out to you, rather than, I don't want to say con you into it, but with flash fancy editing and get people to, well, it is effectively conning them into stuff that isn't really going to help them. So this the reasoning behind this. So basically, when I'm not streaming, I'm talking to you in the camera as if I'm having a chat with a friend, having a coffee or something like that. Okay, there was something else. Yeah, as I was saying, that basically, ultimately, the value is in what you say in your videos, the information you're giving out, not how it looks. And as I said, the classic example is that when I write sales copy, and sometimes you see these web designers with all singing, all dancey, fancy websites, fantastic, really, really good. But you don't know what the website's about, and people just click away because they're confused. A nice, simple sales message, words clear. Obviously, in my case, voice clear. Hopefully, that will do the job of what I'm trying to say. And obviously, when a video isn't all polished and perfect, and the ums and the ahs, I'm trying not to say that as much as I can, and I'm thinking on the fly, and that will probably be coming across. But ultimately, that's more human, it's more natural. And when I watch other people talking like this, it's just sort of more magnetic, if you like. It's more appealing because, I don't know, it just feels more natural. So that's the plan anyway. Ultimately, it comes down to the more simple it is to make these videos, the more I'm going to create them and put more stuff out. And the more stuff out, I mean, it's the creators who show up, not necessarily daily, although probably daily, weekly, regularly. They're the people who ultimately do well with YouTube and get their message out there. So that's what this little short video is all about. I don't know how well I did. As I said, I looked at the notes a few times, but ultimately it was all about no script and just talking to you to the camera. I'm sure over time, the more I practice this, the better it will become. It's strange actually, because I've done a bit of public speaking on stage. Never had a problem there. A bit nervous to start with, but no problem doing it. If you know me, before I was a copywriter, I had my own opticians, and so I was dealing with the public all the time. I had no problem speaking to people. But like everyone, you start talking to a camera, and it just doesn't feel natural. So it's really difficult to imagine you're talking to a person. But I don't know. This is what I'm going to try to do from now on. So as I said, I'm sure over time it will become better. So forgive me if this one was a bit stilted, but this is my first go at an unscripted video. And on that note, I'm going to draw the video to an end here, and then I'll give it another go on my next one, which I'm going to talk about. I'll talk to you on the next video. See ya.